Good day, everyone. Hope you're enjoying your day. I was thinking about how people have different thinking styles, and is there a correct thinking style? Is there a best or optimal thinking style, or can we utilize other people to kind of cover our blind spots? Do our thinking styles kind of reveal our strengths and weaknesses? And and so anyway, did a search on that, and obviously I've got some like kind of fascination with AI. So I've started to do this, and I've started to, I'm heavily invested in AI myself. But anyway, I just thought I'd share what I learned on this topic, and it's kind of interesting because a lot, like everybody out there, everybody in the world has different, thinks maybe slightly differently. We all kind of have maybe our predominant thinking style, but like, a lot of times we think differently, and sometimes we want to be right, sometimes we want to be correct, and there may not be a correct answer. Like there may not always be a right answer. There may be some ambiguity, and but I was interested in like learning what the AI said about the what are the different types of thinking styles, and I'd ask you questions beyond that as well. But like um, so the answer AI gives different thinking styles fall into several well-established categories in psychology, each describing a distinct way the mind processes information. The most widely recognized styles include critical, analytical, creative, abstract, concrete, convergent, divergent, reflective, and systems-based thinking. And the core thinking styles, you've got 9 of them, at least the Copilot Smart AI search. Of course, thinking styles are: number one is critical thinking, evaluates information objectively, scrutinizes assumptions, and forms rational judgments, used in decision making, academic analysis, and scientific reasoning. Number two, analytical thinking breaks complex problems into smaller components to understand structure and relationships, used in data analysis, engineering, and financial modeling. And number three, creative thinking generates original ideas and novel solutions, thrives on imagination and flexibility, and is used in design, writing, and innovation. Number four, divergent thinking produces many possible solutions or ideas, open-ended and exploratory, used in brainstorming, early stage problem solving. Number five, convergent thinking narrows options to identify the single best answer, structured and evaluative, used in tests, diagnostics, and decision filtering. Abstract thinking. Number six, works with concepts, patterns, and generalizations rather than concrete details, used in theoretical reasoning, strategy, and mathematics. Number seven, concrete thinking focuses on literal, direct, and observable information, used in hands on tasks, procedural work, and practical problem solving. Number eight, reflective thinking examines past experiences, evaluates outcomes, and integrates lessons learned, used in personal growth and professional development. Number nine, systems thinking understands how parts interact within a larger whole, emphasizes interconnections and root causes, used in policy design, organizational planning, and environmental analysis. Additional cognitive style dimensions. Beyond thinking modes, psychology also identifies cognitive styles, habitual ways individuals prefer to process information. These include holistic versus analytical processing, field dependent versus field independent perception, verbal versus visual processing. These styles shape how people learn, communicate, and solve problems. What to explore next? So the next question I asked, do thinking styles reflect people's strengths and weaknesses? And the answer is yes. Thinking styles do reflect people's strengths and weaknesses, but not in a good versus bad thinker sense. Research shows that thinking styles are stable preferences in how people perceive, organize, and process information. And each style brings its own advantages and limitations depending on the situation. How thinking styles map to strengths and weaknesses. Cognitive styles are not abilities, but they shape performance. Cognitive styles determine how someone approaches a task, not how smart they are. Two people with equal ability can perform differently because their styles fit or clash with the environment. For example, field-independent thinkers excel at isolating details, while field-dependent thinkers may struggle in the same task but thrive in social or contextual settings. Strength. A style that matches the task boosts efficiency and accuracy. Weakness. A mismatch can create friction, slower performance, or misunderstanding. Each style has built-in advantages. Research identifies multiple style dimensions, such as analytical versus holistic, logical versus intuitive, concrete versus abstract, and each comes with predictable strengths. Examples: analytical thinkers, strengths, detail-oriented, strong at breaking up down problems, and weaknesses, may miss big picture patterns. Holistic thinkers, strengths, see systems and relationships, weaknesses, may overlook critical details. Logical thinkers, strengths, precision, rule-based reasoning, weaknesses, slower and ambiguous or fast-moving situations. Intuitive thinkers, strengths, rapid decision-making, pattern recognition, weaknesses, prone to bias or errors when instincts misfire. Number 3, thinking styles influence real-world outcomes. Cognitive styles affect learning, teamwork, communication, and problem solving. They shape how people approach tasks, how they can collaborate, and what environments they thrive in. Examples: a reflective thinker may excel in planning but struggle under time pressure. An impulsive thinker may generate quick solutions but make avoidable mistakes. Strengths and weaknesses are contextual, not fixed. A style that is a weakness in one setting becomes a strength in another. Intuition is a liability in accounting, but an asset in emergency medicine. Concrete thinking is limited in theoretical physics, but ideal for hands-on technical work. This means no thinking style is universally superior. Effectiveness depends on the task and environment. And bottom line, thinking styles absolutely reflect strengths and weaknesses, but only relative to context. They describe how you think, not how well you think. Understanding your own style helps you choose environments where you thrive, compensate for blind spots, and collaborate better with people who think differently. So then I decided to, like the last question I asked here was, how can we use other people's thinking styles to cover our blind spots? Because clearly, like everybody's got their thinking styles. Each thinking style has, or each person has a predominant thinking style, and each thinking style has strengths and weaknesses. So how do we, use other people? Is it possible to use other people's thinking styles to kind of cover our weaknesses? And the answer is yes. Using other people's thinking styles is one of the most effective ways to cover your own blind spots, and there's strong evidence behind it. The research on cognitive diversity shows that teams perform better when members think differently because each person compensates for others' limitations. Core takeaway: you can absolutely use others' thinking styles to cover your blind spots, and teams that do this outperform those that don't. This is supported by multiple studies showing that diverse cognitive approaches improve problem solving, innovation, and decision quality. Why this works? Number 1, different thinking styles catch different errors. People vary in how they encode, organize, and process information. When you combine analytical, creative, intuitive, and big picture thinkers, each person naturally spots what others miss. Research shows that teams with diverse cognitive styles generate better solutions and foresee more possible outcomes. Number 2, cognitive diversity boosts innovation and problem solving. Studies in organizational psychology show that teams with varied thinking styles outperform homogeneous teams on complex tasks because they bring multiple angles to the same problem. Number 3, collective intelligence increases when thinking styles differ. A 2019 study found that cognitive style diversity improves collective intelligence, which in turn improves team learning and adaptability. This means teams get better over time, not just in one meeting. Diverse thinkers prevent groupthink. Teams of similar thinkers agree quickly but often miss alternatives. Research shows that cognitively diverse teams make better decisions up to 87% of the time and deliver significantly better results. When using other thinking styles works best. Complex, ambiguous, or high stakes problems. Diverse perspectives help uncover hidden assumptions and blind spots. Strategic planning. Big picture thinkers plus detail oriented thinkers equal fewer oversights. Creative or innovative work. Creative thinkers generate ideas. Analytical thinkers refine them. Fast changing environments. Different cognitive approaches help teams adapt more quickly. When it doesn't work automatically, cognitive diversity is powerful, but it must be managed well. Research shows it can create friction or communication challenges without psychological safety and good leadership. Bottom line, yes, other people's thinking styles can absolutely cover your blind spots. The science is clear. Teams with diverse cognitive styles outperform those without, because they see more, miss less, and solve problems more effectively. So we'll leave it there. I think it's important to realize that other people have different thinking styles, different approaches to solving problems, and different perspectives. They have different life experiences. They're different. They've been through different things in their life, and so in addition to just having different thinking styles, people have also had different life experiences. So anyway, leave it there today. Hope you are enjoying your day. Adios.